This is the new full-size arcade Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. Control panel. Kick plate. Street Fighter side. There's the pinball buttons here. To the back. And there's 6 wood screws holding this back panel on. And it's the Mortal Kombat side. Artwork looks pretty good. Pretty damn good. Nice. And it's the bezel art. I'll lift up the panel a little so you can see it. Boy. You have Lord Raiden right there. And again the marquee, which Keith from Monster Arcade included a LED strip put in. And while I have this open, so the control panel, piano hinge, you just lift it up. It came with 2 fans. I think they're 120mm fans. The LED light strip, fan guard plates there, and you have your speaker covers, and I believe that's a 4-inch speaker, which will go right there and there. Nice. Now check. My next thing is to get this control panel off with these 2 lag bolts here and here. Take it off, and then strap it to my hand truck. And the shippers, they gave me 2 blanket movers blankets, which is nice of them. And I'm gonna take the inner door off and get it through my back door here, which leads to my den. And then I have to figure out if I need another hand to help me bring it down the stairs to my man cave. So that is a quick overview of my cabinet. It looks good, no damage. I was praying that there was nothing damaged with it, and those guys wrapped it really well. So I am pleased with the job Keith did. I don't see any imperfections, and I'm sure as I go through, hopefully I don't, once I get it in the house and really scrutinize it, there's nothing wrong with it. It's got a lot of dust, and I got to vacuum out the inside from when they made the cabinet, but that's fine. Just a little vacuum, a little cleaning, dusting, and start installing the hardware. I already have the computer all set and all that. It's just have to do the buttons, the trackball, all that stuff, and flight stick is still out of stock on the Ultimark website, so I have to wait on that. But everything else I have, so that shouldn't be an issue. So I will see you guys later. Okay, now that we're close up, I'm going to give you the overview of the control panel. To start off, the top row of buttons, these are, most of this stuff is from Ultramark in England. I have the Ultralux Chrome illuminated push buttons, which are the coin, player 1. I have an exit. This is just one color, it's going to light up, but this is blue. Right now panel, the arcade cabinet is off, but to have it in blue, and when it's lit, it's a nice, you know, shown very nice blue color, and also with the red. And you have player 2 button and a coin button right here. These are the Gold Leaf RGB push buttons from Ultimark, and these are very cool. They don't have that clicky sound like a regular micro switch. They have an internal Gold Leaf switch, so it's not as clicky. None of these buttons are really clicky except for this has a micro switch, the Ultralux chrome button, but everything else. And these are also, they look different. These are the Gold Leaf buttons. It's just as a black cap. I popped this off because I wanted this to be the buttons for this joystick here and for the spinner. Also, I can use this for mouse buttons, the left, middle, and the right. So I wanted to differentiate it from the regular arcade buttons for the player 1 and player 2. Right here we have the U-Track 3-inch trackball, also from Ultimark, and this is in pearl translucent. There's an RGB kit that I have for it, which you'll see once I turn everything on. It just makes it change different colors, which is very cool. This is the spin track, also from Ultimark. I have a steering wheel, which I'll just take out and show you right now. That there's an Allen key hold on both sides. You can just take this off, and then I can put this steering wheel in place of that. And if I'm playing any racing games, I can, you know, can use this instead, which is very cool. Over here, I love this little flight stick. This is the Ultra Stick 360 FS flight stick. It can do analog, it can do digital, you name it, you can program it different ways, but this is great. So this is great for games like if you're playing Tron, Zaxxon, any, you know, any type of flying games. It's very good. Afterburner, you name it. This is also very good when you're playing Star Wars Battle Pod on Technoparrot, which I'll show either later on in the video or another video of gameplay on a cabinet, but it's very cool. This is a Sanwa 4-way joystick for games like Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, any of those type of games, Popeye, you know, that require 4-way joystick. And I always wanted a dedicated 4-way joystick for those games. I mean, I know you could have a panel with just, I think Ultimark also makes a joystick where you can, I think it's a Magna stick or whatever, you can pull up and switch it from 4-way to 8-way, or mechanical one that it can, depending on the game, it'll automatically switch for you. I didn't want all that extra stuff, just a dedicated 4-way joystick, the spinner, the buttons for it. And as you can see here, I went with 8 buttons that can be used for games like Mortal Kombat. You know, Street Fighter usually has 6. On my other arcade cabinet, I only had 6 buttons. But when I got this, I told Keith I wanted the 8-button layout. This is pretty much how you would get it from Keith, either 6 or you get the 8. You would have a spot for a 4-way joystick. I told him I wanted the spinner also, and then an extra hole over here because I wanted a flight stick. So I wanted everything on this one control panel so I can play any type of games I want. And I have light guns you've seen in an earlier video, my Sinden light guns. So those are going to be, I'll show that also in another video with gameplay on the cabinet with the Sinden light guns. And I have 2 Xbox One controls wireless that I can play, you know, console games with. So it's very cool. So now I'm going to take you around to the side and show you all the wiring involved with this bad boy, which was a pain in the arse. Okay, now we're going to get to the inside of the control panel and just lift it up like a car hood. And let me adjust the camera. Oh, first let me prop it up. Still trying to figure out what I want to cut a piece of wood or something to prop it up because it doesn't stand on its own. But let's see if I can do this like so and have the camera adjusted so you can get a good view of what I've done. All right. Okay, so right here we have, I'm gonna use this as a pointer. This is my GoPro selfie stick and tripod. So these are the Ultralux chrome plated push buttons. These just light up white, but the player 1 and player 2 and the player 1 and 2 coin buttons, those just light up white because the face is white. And I have 2 blue, as you saw on the other side, and 2 red. So those are cool. All the other buttons are RGB. And then you can see here, I have the Suzu Hap joysticks. Now what I had to do for the Hap joystick and the 4-way joystick, since they're both player 1, I had to use these Splice connectors, which everything that I show in the video, I'm going to leave a link in the description below of everything that I used and purchased for this arcade cabinet. And this enabled me to splice into the inputs for player 1 to be used with the 4-way joystick for player 1. And I've used this a couple other places where I had to. Also, there are pinball buttons, which I'll show you later on, that you can see in the far distance right there. And there's 2 buttons. And there are 2 pinball buttons right here. You can see them on the side here. And it looks like a bird's nest with the wiring. I don't see how you can do too great of cable management, all these type of wiring, especially with the RGB. Everything's RGB, so you just don't have the wiring for the inputs onto the IO board. You have RGB going to the board. Speaking of the board, I'm using the Ultimate IO board, which has the RGB controller on the board, besides the inputs for the spinner, the trackball, and the buttons, player 1 and player 2 buttons, and the admin buttons as well. Everything is plugged into this board right here. I'm going to do a close-up and take this GoPro off of the tripod that I have and put on the stick, and I can move it around and show you better. While it's on tripod, I want to show right here. What is it here? These are the audio speaker cables. And it's going from the top of the marquee to the back, which I'll show you once we get to the back of the arcade cabinet. And I use these quick connect and disconnect, I should say. So I have my amp right in the front underneath the control panel. So if I had ever had to remove this control panel, which I was telling you, there's 2 lag bolts, one here or one in the far corner over there, and once those are removed, this whole control panel will lift off. So if I needed to, for whatever reason, disconnect anything, you know, to take the control panel and I wanted to just take off these cables, I would just have to pop that off. I don't know if you can see it well, and it's just like that. So you have one female and one male end, and I color coded it so they go in like the, and they just snap back in. So I have the red to red and the black to black, And I think I have a label on the ends to distinguish if it's a left speaker, right speaker, and what have you. So that is, and I got some of these ideas on tips from Arcade Adam, which I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel. He is doing a lot of work with the Extreme Home Arcade cabinets. He has a Mega-cade from Extreme Home Arcades, and he's doing a lot of stuff in the community with the light guns and working on their drives. But he has a lot of useful tips on setting up arcade machine or the control panel and wiring and making it simpler for yourself. And I got a lot of good tips, and I believe this is one of the tips I got from him when he was doing some work in his little workshop doing a control panel, that to save yourself a lot of headache. You don't have to disconnect everything from like whatever the source, the amp or whatever. I can just disconnect it from right here and then just plug it back in. So simple. And then also I have let's see if you can see here, I have my controller for the LED lights. I have a LED light strip, and that controls the marquee light. And also I have an LED it's a strip underneath the control panel that illuminates the kick plate, which I'll show in more detail later on in the video. So let me take this off of the tripod and onto the selfie stick, and I'll show you around closer a lot of the stuff in the I/O board. Okay, now I have the GoPro on the selfie stick. Now you can see how I have wiring for the Player One coin and start. I have, this is the exit and the menu button, and these are the Ultralux. So you see all the wiring involved. You have the ground, the black is the ground. It piggybacks onto all of these. The other, everything has in a chain, daisy chain. I got the power and the input for the controller on the controller board for the input. And then a lot of these multicolor, this is all the RGB for the Player One buttons, action buttons. And this right here, you can get a good look at this, is the Ultimate I/O board from Ultimark. So like I said, everything is plugged into. This is the brain of the operation, besides the computer for the games and all that. But for the controls, this is the brain right here. So all the inputs here, admin buttons, the Player One, Player Two start, the action buttons for Player One, Player Two, all the joysticks, everything is plugged into here, and also the RGB. Some people would, and when I talked to Keith, he recommended just getting like 2-player, the iPac 2 board, also from Ultimark, and then getting the PAC-LED, which is the LED driver board, separate for the, I wanted to just have one board, so hopefully nothing goes wrong, because then, everything's screwed up, and besides 2 different components breaking, you have one, and then you're totally assed out. But, so far it's been good. I had no problems, so I wanted to just do that. And here you can see this is the RGB kit for the U-Track trackball from Ultimark. So most of the things here I got from Ultimark, except for the joysticks. Besides the flight stick I got from Ultimark, but the Sanwa 4-way, I forgot where I got that from. I think I got that from Focus Attack. Yeah, I got that from Focus Attack, and I think I got Micro Center. I think I got the Suzu Hap, or maybe Focus Attack as well. I can't remember, but these are great. The Hap competition joysticks. So, and like I said, there is the controller for the LED, for the marquee, and I can dim it and turn it off, and for the LED strip that's underneath the control panel. And as you can see, these are the two buttons for pinball buttons, which I tapped into the player 2 side. And these are and they're also RGB, gold leaf Ultimark buttons. And these are for the left side pinball buttons, the MagnaSave, and would be the flipper button. And that is also tapped into, like I said, to player 1 buttons. And you can see these splice connectors to tap into. Very handy, very handy. So you'll see it a lot over here because, like I said, player 1 joystick is the HAP competition is the Sanwa 4-way joystick is tapped into that. So pretty cool. And let me move to the outside and just show you why I got this on the stick. This is the amp. Let's see if you can get a good view of it. This is the amplifier that I have mounted. I was going to put it inside, but I figured I had to flip it open. As you see here, I was currently the control panel just to access it, and I don't want to keep doing that if I want to find little changes in the volume. So I kept it readily accessible underneath there. And I will go underneath here, and you can see the LED strip. It's going across, and that lights up this kick plate here, which also has a coin door, which is cool. Gives it an authentic arcade look with a coin door added. And I'll give you quickly graphics right here. Scorpion, and you see Sub-Zero. And then move back up. And I think I will close this down. I don't know if there's any more to show you. But I mean, I could have probably done a slightly better cable management, but this is very difficult. This is just a mess with wiring and all that. So you can only be so neat with this stuff. But everything has enough slack, so if I have to lift this up, nothing's getting yanked or anything like that. And also I have, this is, which I didn't show in the front. I forgot to show you. I have 2 USB ports, which I plug my light guns in from right there. And everything goes through this access hole into the cabinet and plugging into the computer and the various other components. So let me close this up. And then you see the rest of the artwork for the bezel. And you got Lord Raiden. They're really nice. Then I got my speaker grills. And these are the speaker grills that came with the speakers. When I got it, Keith sent in the package with the cabinet some other speaker grills, but they didn't look as nice, so I opted to just use these instead of the ones that was shipped with the cabinet. And then the marquee. And then you'll see how early in the video you see the sides of it, so I'm not going to go over that again. And next I will turn the cabinet around, and then we'll take a look at the inside, the guts of the arcade cabinet itself. Okay, now we will look at the back of the arcade cabinet. And this has, usually when shipped, it has a back panel, which is right here. And pretty heavy. So I had that off since I got it delivered, because I can always might need to tinker with it. I don't feel like, and it's I believe 6 wood screws that screw into this and this side to put the back panel back on. So I'm leaving it off for now till I'm finally sure I'm not needing to get into this at all, and then I'll put it back on. So for now, it's pretty clean. I vacuumed it not too long ago and cleaned it out, so it's not dusty. Well, computer might be a little, but anyway. So let's just show you. I have a push button to start the cabinet, and I have it wired into the motherboard right here so that it'll turn on once I press that button. There are two 120mm fans that came with the cabinet along with these grills here. So I have one to exhaust the air up, and there's a fan down here to draw air in. And then that was originally used to put, I guess you had put your cord through or whatever to plug in, but I made my own, as I've done in other projects, the power socket in there, and then just plug that in. And then I wired a smart power strip to turn all the components on and off when power is turned on, when the computer's turned on. So, which is cool. I've used that in the other arcade cabinet that I had. So now let's go from left. Up here we have, this is the LED that's going into the marquee. It's coming down, and then it goes down to the bottom. And like I said, I have an LED strip right in the bottom here. But now the two speaker wires for the speakers that are in the marquee area in the front. And there's some cable management here. It goes down. So this area is pretty neat. I have an LG 32-inch monitor. This is a 2K monitor. Normally you'll have like a 1080p or whatever, but I wanted, you know, to go with this. Certain games benefits from a higher resolution screen. These are the brackets, the Visa mount brackets for the monitor. This is my 6 terabyte MyBook Western Digital drive that I have my Launchbox Big Box build on with, I guess, a little over 15,000 games. I'm planning on buying a new hard drive, probably like a 14 terabyte, probably from Home Arcade Systems, Chris Upchurch, who I've spoken with over a couple of years with questions on arcade stuff and whatnot. And looks, you know, he has a nice drive that might have, I don't know, like 40, 50, 60,000 games, whatever. I don't have all the systems on my build. It's only a 6 terabyte drive, so got a lot of Techno-Para games that are huge that I still couldn't even put on there. So, you know, I'm needing to get a new hard drive. So I figured, you know, spend the money and get one that has all the games, PS3 and everything. I have a small PS3 collection on my big box Launchbox build. So we have a computer here. You have, this is an Asus ROG Strix B450F motherboard. I have an Asus ROG Strix 1660 Super graphics card, and I have an AMD Ryzen 7 2700X processor on this. I have a 1 terabyte M.2 drive for my boot, and I have a 1 terabyte Western Digital, what's this? WD Blue SSD drive, and that's why I put my Steam games and what have you on there. This is a Power Spec 650W 80 bronze power supply. Didn't need to go too high powered for this arcade cabinet. Let's see what else. I have my Wi-Fi add-on card because the board doesn't have Wi-Fi built in to it. And you see all these different connections. And some of these, this is for the 2 USB that are going to the front port. And let's see if I can get more light over here. Okay, now we have a dedicated 12-volt power supply. So I can have nice clean power going to my LED lights. I didn't want to piggyback off of the computer power supply, and those connected to that are these block terminals, which are very handy. I can have, like you see here, I have the ground into one, so if I have multiple electronic devices, I can plug all the grounds into this, and the power, I have a block for that. So everything, so you have all the grounds in one, and you have all the positive voltage in the other. So those are very handy. And I have another brick for the LED strip, which you can see here, and the back of the coin door and the wiring. So this back, I don't need to go crazy and do super cable management. I plan on putting a subwoofer in here, probably somewhere over there, and connected it to the amp to give me some more bass. But this is a good setup. I mean, nice airflow, got the air, cool air coming in from the bottom, and then the hot air is being blown out the top. And I have a fan from the power supply, the processor, and the graphics card, so this is good airflow. I didn't want to clog it up with a case. I mean, you probably get better airflow inside of a computer case, but all of my systems I've built, I usually have just put it on a piece of wood, the motherboard open, and not in a case. So that is the inside. And let me just turn on the power. So usually I just turn on the switch. It's already plugged into a surge protector on the outside here, so it's always, so all I have to do is that, and it won't. I had two options. I could have plugged this in directly to an always on input on the surge protector. I don't want to do that, because then if this could accidentally be on the on position and the light will be on, I have to take off the panel to get to it. So this only comes on once the power is applied to the cabinet, which I will turn everything on by the push of a button, like so. And then you see it lights up. The computer's turning on. You see the lights from the coin door. And now I can see the LED light strip is on. So like say if I had to work on something in here, I can just control it and turn it down and put it up supernova bright, like so. And then you get to see everything. So that is cool. Thought of and I use this like a Y splitter to go from the connections inside the control panel that are coming down from that light strip, and everything is connected like so. And then I have a separate controller besides the one that's in the control panel for dedicated just for this light strip, so I can turn it off and on like that. So let's see, like right now I don't want it on with the computer. Say if I had the panel on top, so I'll just leave this off. And then you can probably hear the cabinet. That's the big box booting up, which we're gonna go around to the front and show you the interface on this bad boy. Now I'm gonna turn on the arcade cabinet. I'll see from the front the boot up process and the light show once Windows boots up and it launches Big Box. It takes less than a minute for it to go into Big Box. And I'm using LED blinky. That's what's providing the light controlling the lights, the colors and all that for the RGB buttons and the trackball. These are a constant white LED and have dedicated blue buttons, red, and these are just white. I'm debating if I want to switch it over to RGB and then pick it to just constantly light up blue stuff. But this is the profile that I've chosen for to be constant. The blue side, the red side, trackball green. And you can configure it any kind of way you want in the LED blinky software. Cut this short at any point by touching a joystick, but I'll just let it play out. Just a pretty good animation intro beginning. Very appropriate for the Street Fighter Mortal Kombat game that I went with. This is a great intro. This looks like scenes from Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Or Ultimate. Pretty cool. So let me just quickly go through the wheel. Designated categories. You got 2-player, 4-player. I don't have a 4-player panel, but I can use my Xbox controllers to play. Just gonna go through quickly. Gonna make several videos on this cabinet. You know, probably a gameplay, different categories. Capcom Arcade. I got fighting. Probably since I have my Cine light guns, I'll spend a lot of time in this category, light gun games. Shoot 'em up. I have a computer category, which I have Commodore 64, Amiga CD32, Windows games. And these are LucasArts games, PopCap, Scum VM games. This should be my Steam games here. So this is the Steam category.
Right.
Mortal Kombat 11.
Our work is finished, Lieutenant.
Star Wars, Street Fighter 5, and so forth. Come on, that. Taito X. So these are techno-pack games. It's the same thing.
Hello?
More Thrills. Batman. H2O Overdrive. I think I will go to Elevator Action, Silent Hill, Slew of Games, Namco, Mark Storm. This is like a dome game inside Dave Buster's. Star Wars Battle Pod. Play this. Mario Kart DX. So let's just okay, different categories, handhelds. So I have all these different categories, handhelds. So little by little, I'll do a video on all this stuff. So I think I will go to, let's see. Sometimes it's a problem, you have so many games, you don't know what to play. But let's see if we can go to, let's see, Street Fighters. With Launchbox, Big Box, you can go to do search by letter. Left and right. Let's see, Capcom 2. These are my favorites. Let's go to a classic Donkey Kong. Let this load up. Nice bass just from these two speakers, so it'll sound even better once I get a subwoofer installed in here. And I can play it with this controller and these buttons or the dedicated four-way, which I'm gonna play with this. The reason I got the four-way joystick. All right. Volume up a little. So far, I am really enjoying this arcade cabinet. I've always wanted a full size, and this has just about all the bells and whistles you can think of. I have the 8 buttons, 2-player. I have a dedicated 4-way joystick, the spinner, the flight stick. Oh, you know what? Let's do it real quick. Ah. I'm not focusing on this. Ah, screwed up. That's all right. Yeah. I'm gonna show you a game with the spinner. I get a Tempest, one of my favorite games. So this is what happens sometimes. You gotta configure, which I thought I had set. So really quick, you see this on the fly. Sometimes Windows changes the ID of the various inputs. So in this case, it was set to mouse 2, which this is mouse 1. So that happens sometimes. And with the light gun, sometimes it messes up. So now it should work. Put a coin in. Press start. Okay, yeah. So now it's behaving like it's supposed to. Rotations. See, it's just a free spinning. Just keep spinning, and I have a weight on it to keep the inertia going. I used to love this game in the arcades. The classic games. The Centipede, Millipede, Marble Madness, which I have all these in the cabinet. Die. Alright, get out of this. Go to S. Take it out. Yeah, go to that. Centipede. Trackball. And hopefully, let's see, I'm gonna have to configure this, I don't know. Yep, this control is also messed up. It's trackball 3, so okay, so I can use this button or this one. So I have two ways. I can use this button or this control. Centipede real quick. Let's get out of this. Let's see, trigger spinner, forward joystick. I think I'll show you. Use the flight stick to make sure you can see it. Yeah, it's good. Couple coins in, and I'm just using all for this. I could play it with the, oh no, I configured it with this. But if I wanted to, I could set the controls if I didn't have a flight stick for these, oops. This is cool, you know, this is the way to play that on the flight stick. will bring the video to a close. I hope you enjoyed it. Yes, that's it. Oh, the high score? No, that's not a big deal. And I'll just leave it here on the arcade. Like I said, I have a little over 15,000 games on this hard drive, a 6 terabyte, which I've, over the past couple of years, have compiled of various sites. Got the ROMs and stuff for Atari 2600, 5200, 7800, ColecoVision, television, Dreamcast, and all that. I have a limited collection of PS3. The hard drive is only but so big. I have a whole bunch of Techno-Power games, which are huge, and also PS3, and I can't put it on there. So, like I said, I'm probably gonna buy like a 14 terabyte drive from Home Arcade Systems. I'll leave a link in the description below. You can check out the site, Chris Upchurch, and there'll probably be like 50,000 games or something like that. Full collections, PS2, PS3, and what have you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you like about the cabinet. If you're really feeling the artwork, what kind of games you want to see me play, because I'll do like a series of independent videos of just playing like a certain category. Capcom 1, Capcom 2, Capcom 3, Naomi, and Thomas Wave, just for those particular games. Go through a couple games in those specific videos for those systems. So let me know in the comment below what you want to see regarding this arcade cabinet. Also, I'm going to do a whole bunch of light gun games I didn't do in this video. I'm going to do a separate video dedicated to light gun games. So look forward to that. As always, thanks for watching, spending your time with me on this video. Share this video, let the channel grow. Thankfully, I've hit over 1,000 subscribers. I'm almost at 1.2, almost 1,200 subscribers. So thank everybody, and did it before the end of the year. So I'm thankful for that. As always, I'll see everyone in the next video. Peace. I'm gonna continue gaming. Check you guys out later. Commando.